Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tessie. I'm sorry guys, I've not been online. I have some projects I'm working on and it has been time consuming. But today I'll be making the most requested tutorial, that's an off-shoulder princess dart bustier. It's just going to be a pattern drafting. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly do that and let's get right into the video. So as you can see, I folded my pattern paper into two. On the starting point, you are to take your shoulder measurement divided by 2 and you minus 1 or 1.5 inch from your shoulder measurement. So the shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches. Divided by 2 will give me 7.5. I'll minus 1.5 inch from 8, which will give me 6 inches. So next thing to do is to determine how off you want your off shoulder to be. So I took 6 inches off, and from that point, I'm going to chalk my armhole line, that's my chest line, my bust point line at 11 inches, my under bust at 14, and my half length at 17. I went ahead to connect the lines, and I also indicated my chest line, my bust point line, my under bust line, and my half length. So what I'll do next is on the chest line, I'll be taking my bust measurement divided by 4. The bust I'm working with is 40 divided by 4 will give me 10. After chalking that 10 inches, I'll go ahead now to curve in my armhole. So what I'll do next is I'll take my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So the nipple to nipple I'm working with is 8 inches. Divided by 2 will give me 4. I'll be adding half an inch to it. That's 4.5. So on the bust point line, I'll be placing 4.5 inches. So I chalked 4.5 inches on the bust point area. And on the under bust, I'll leave it at 4 inches. Then on the half length as well, I'll leave it at 4 inches. So on the bust point line, I have 4.5. On the under bust, I have 4 inches. And on the half length, I also have 4 inches. So I'll go ahead now to connect the lines together. So after connecting my lines together, on the chest line area, I'll be taking 2.5 inch. So you chalk 2.5 inch, but for a smaller bust, you can chalk 2 inches. So I use 2.5 generally though. So I will just connect the lines together. So go ahead, connect the lines together this way. So guys, what I'll do is blend that line. After blending, I'll be taking my dart. On the underbust area, I'll be taking 2 inches dart. So the dart intake I'm using is 2 inches. But for a smaller bust, you can use 1.5, medium bust 2 inches, a larger bust 2.5. So for the medium bust I'm working on, I use 2 inches. So I'll go ahead now to connect it to the half length. After connecting to the half length, on the bust point line, I'll be coming down by half an inch to eliminate pointiness on that bust area. So I came in by half an inch, then I'm just going to connect it to the under bust using my curve ruler. So just watch what I'm doing. So guys, after connecting my lines together, what I'll be doing next is on the chest line area, I'll be coming in by 1.5 inches for my dart intake. So as you can see, I came in by 1.5 inches and I'm just going to connect from that point all the way down to the bust point line using my curve ruler. So as you can see, I just placed my ruler and I curved. So guys, this is what I have. What I'll do is replace back the that I took on this point. So I took 1.5 inch. I'll replace it back on this side of the pattern. So as you can see, I'm using my tape to just replace back the 1.5 inches I took. So guys, after replacing back the 1.5 inches I took on this point, what I'll do next is on the chest line, I'll place my bust measurement divided by 4. Bust is 40, divided by 4 is 10. I'll replace back the dart I took on this side and I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So what I'll do next is curve in my armhole. So this will serve as my new armhole. So using my curve ruler, I curved in that point. So this is my new armhole line. So what I'll do next is on the underbust, I'll be placing my underbust measurement divided by 4, which gave me 8 inches. I'll replace back these 2 inches that we took and I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. On the half length, I'll place my waist measurement divided by 4 as well. Then I'll replace back the dart I took, and I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. So I'll go ahead now to connect the lines together. After connecting my lines, this is what we have. So now for the neckline, you determine how deep you want the neckline to be. You determine the kind of neckline that you want to use. So let's say I'm making a sweetheart neckline. You know, we took 6 inches off. So what you do is determine how deep you want the neckline to be. So for me, I just chalked 7.5, as you can see. And from that point, I'm just going to give it a sweetheart effect. So guys, if you've watched the video to this point and you're yet to subscribe, kindly do that. Let's get right into the video. So after giving it a sweetheart effect, this is what it looks like. So I went ahead to take out the areas that I'll be taking off. After taking out the areas I'll be taking off, I went ahead to indicate my lines. So this is my bust point line, my under bust line, and my half length. So I'll go ahead now to cut out my pattern. So guys, basically we are done with the front part of a off shoulder princess dart. It is easy, right? Yes, it is. So guys, I'll go ahead now to cut out the pattern. I have videos on how to perfectly pad a bustier. You should check that video out. Watch the video and you're good to go. So this is the front part. We're good to go with the front part. As you can see, if you open it up, you have something like this. You place one of the side on the other side as well. So guys, we're good to go with the front parts. For the back, as you can see, I folded my pattern paper into two, and I'll be chalking out my zip allowance. So for the zip, I chalked 2 inches and I connected it straight down, and I label this as my zip allowance. So what I'll do here as well is my shoulder measurement divided by 2, then I'll take 1.5 inches off. So the shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5 minus 1.5, that's 6 inches. So I took 6 inches off at the back as well, and from that point I'll be chalking my armhole line, that's my chest line at 9 inches, my bust at 11 inches, and my half length at 17. So I'll go ahead now to connect my lines. Then I indicated my chest line, my bust point, and my half length. So what I'll do next is at the chest line, I'll be placing my bust measurement divided by 4. So the bust divided by 4 will give me 10. I went ahead now to curve in my armhole. So go ahead, curve in your armhole. So after covering in my armhole, what I'll do is take my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. So the nipple to nipple I'm working with is 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4. So I chalked 4 inches all the way down to the half length. Then I connected it into a straight line. After doing that, I'll be placing my dart half inch on both sides. So I chalked half inch on both sides. Then I'm going to connect it all the way up to the bust point line. After doing that, I'll be placing my measurements. So on the chest line, I'll place my bust measurement divided by 4. So the bust I'm working with divided by 4 will give me 10, and I added 2 inches sewing allowance. On the half length, I'll place my waist measurement divided by 4. Then I'll replace that half inch I took, that's 1 inch. Then I'll be adding extra 2 inches for my sewing allowance. Then I'll go ahead now to connect the lines together. So after connecting the line, I just blended that chest line area. So what I did next was just to cut out the down parts. As you can see, after cutting out the down part, you need to determine how deep you want the back neckline to be. You can come down by 1.5, 2 inches, 3 inches, or even come down to the chest line area. It all depends on your preference. So what I did was just to come down to like 2.5 inches. Then I used my curve ruler to give that area a curve. You curve it all the way down to the zip allowance line, as you can see. So this is what it looks like. So what I'll do next is to eliminate my zip bulge. So at that zip line area, I'm going to be coming in by 0.75. So after coming in by 0.75, I'll slant all the way up using my ruler. After slanting, we are good to go. You can go ahead now to cut out your pattern. So guys, this is how I cut out my off shoulder princess dart bustier. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Now you can go ahead now to use this pattern to cut your fabric, join them together, then you add any sleeve of your choice, and trust me, to come out well. So guys, hope this tutorial was helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, and like I said, I've been very busy with work, but trust me, I'll be coming back with more tutorials. For now, bye.